Howdy y'all, Handy Redneck here. As you can see, it's about 1:30 in the afternoon, 21st of April 2019, Easter Sunday. Uh, it's getting on about 80 degrees. And I want to welcome you all to services today. I've mentioned before, I am a ordained minister. I've also mentioned before that I am a druid by practice. And yeah, I wanted to bring y'all out to my church. Bring y'all out to my church and let you join me for a spell. We have services every day. The choir sings nearly every day. Our choir is comprised mainly of the birds. If you listen careful, you can hear them in the background. There is nothing better for your mind, your body, and your spirit or soul, however you want to look at it, than to get out and be in nature, the natural world. And there ain't nothing as fulfilling, at least to folks like me anyway, as tending to nature. As you can probably tell, I like most of my stuff to go pretty wild, but I do have some tame stuff that are natural. Such as the carrots in the bed. Watching these little ones grow is a bit of a thrill. Yeah, I ain't never gotten the joy of getting to have children, so this is about as close as I get. You know. It's a lovely day. You know, I'm sitting here looking at my amaranth growing. We got the Brussels sprouts growing, carrots and turnips, and everything's greening up spectacularly. I mean, it's just a lovely green around here. I'm sitting here in the straw next to one of the garden beds. You can hear the wind chimes in the background. You can hear the birds in the background. The oak trees are done blooming, so the pollen is lessening. I mean, the oak trees are even starting to drop their blooms off. It's a good day. Figured I'd get y'all out with me to enjoy it a little bit. I know some of y'all it's still cold. It's getting there, but it ain't to the level we're at here where I'm at. You know, another 2 weeks, probably into April, all these trees will be fully leaved out. You know, you can see the leaves on them now. And some of them are pretty close to being fully leafed out as it is. Y'all are welcome to come by anytime you want. Like I say, we hold services every day, at least twice a day. Usually a morning and an evening. Right now we got a midday thing going because it's sunny, it's warm, it's peaceful. Y'all can't get much better than this. I mean, there ain't even really any mosquitoes out right now. It's just nice. I suppose, since it is so nice and shiny and everything, what we can do, since we're out here, is we can do a checkup on everybody. And when I mean everybody, I'm talking all the plants and everything. You know, we looked on the baby carrots. I'm hoping here in another month, maybe a month and a half, into May, we might get to harvest some. But in the meantime, let's have us a look around at the gardens and everything. We got the lazy puppies. That's Mouse, Shovel, and Ruby Doo. You know, they're enjoying being outside. Got our pumpkins. They're doing alright. I ain't really watered anything in the last couple of days because well, what was it, about 2 days ago, we got about 3 inches of rain, so everything is still pretty moist, as you can see. It's really moist down there, so we don't need to go about watering too much. You know, we do want them to dry out a little bit, that way they don't get root rot, although we did work on preventing that because everything got dusted with cinnamon, ground cinnamon, before the rains, so that cinnamon's gotten to be soaked in. If you look here in this one, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 potatoes popped up out of that one. Here's our bucket of beans. Look in this one, I can see 1 potato there, another one over here, here's a third, so you know, we've got at least 3 poking up. So it won't be much longer till they're up and doing good. Once pretty much this whole area here gets filled with leaves, then we'll refill with more soil. Bucket of carrots, or cucumbers, sorry. Down here we got the sweet potato tower with our purple molokais. We only got the 3 plants, so this is a first year running. We're going to hold off on eating sweet potatoes, the purple ones anyway. We'll probably have to do some store-bought ones for like Thanksgiving. Depends on how many of these produce. But you know, they've easily doubled in size. They're still growing, so as it heats up, it should get better. Out a little further, just beyond the sweet taters and the edge of the woods here, we got these are black raspberries, and if you see here, they're getting ready to bloom in the near future. So I started with like four vines of those, and they're slowly starting to take over. Eventually I want this whole little area here to hopefully be nothing but black raspberries. I get about 2 or 3 dozen berries off of them a year, you know, because they're just starting, you know. A lot of what we got going on around here is early stages. You know, we ain't got a full-on food forest or anything going on. But every forest is actually a food forest if you know what to look for. I mean, the oak trees give us acorns. If you know how to process an acorn, you can have acorn flour, which you can make into pancakes and whatnot. Here's our loofah sponges. in a bucket. Some of our beets have finally decided to actually start getting bigger and taking off a little bit, so I got high hopes for them. Some of the buckwheat has started to vine out a little bit finally. Okras are doing okay. The corn, the corn's really starting to look good. We'll hopefully be a couple feet tall easily by July. I mean, some of these corn are already, 5-6 inches tall in some cases. Most of them are only a couple inches tall, but that's okay. Over in this bucket here we got our yellow squash. We planted 3 buckets of them and 2 of them have sprouted, so here we got our giant sunflowers, and once they got up and started going, I mean, some of these things, I mean, look at these, they're going, but they got to go quick because, you know, it said they can get 14 feet tall. So here's the second bucket of yellow squash. As you can see, it's come up pretty good. Here's the big apple tree. Our big apple tree anyway. It's not the big apple tree. I'm watching where there was blooms. We're watching to see if those fill out into apples. Shouldn't be too much longer till we can tell. We got over here the third bucket, and it's just barely starting to crack the top with the seeds, but that's our third bucket of squash. And I think I'm gonna set you guys up on the porch, let you enjoy some services while I get out here and tend to the congregation. We got our marigolds out, getting them some sun. These are the African giants. You can see the parsley and the chamomile's up and doing wonderful. The chamomile's starting to take off. The parsley's already taken off. We got echinacea in with the parsley, and also in with the chamomile is some strawberry spinach. As you can see, the kiwi vine is going nuts. I'm going to try to take some of these younger shoots, snip a couple off and treat them with a rooting hormone and see if we can't get something growing out of them. We got our 2 mangoes or tomatoes and whatnot. You can see here the avocado tree. It's leafing out more and more. So I did snip off some of the dead leaves so it could air out a little. Then over here, all of our peas are finally starting to pop. I mean, I don't know if you can see them, but we had a couple. Now we got a bunch, and they are all starting to pop pretty good. So we might have some peas after all. Anyway, I'm gonna set y'all up here. Yeah, I mean, that kiwi's gotten so thick you can't even hardly see the red of the the hummingbird feeder through it. But anyway, y'all sit here and enjoy. Well, y'all, this here's a handy redneck. I'll talk at y'all later.